Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good. Yeah. Yeah. Greetings, and we are live on Facebook. We're gonna just take a second to share our information and let a couple people log in or follow, and then we'll get started. Okay, so give us like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, like 30
Hey,
seconds.
everyone.
Yes, sorry, Leah. Yeah, so please, as you're coming on, share. We're gonna take a couple of minutes to share, and I need to sign into my phone, and I want to make sure everything is sharing on the page, and then we're going to get started. So we're going to be getting started in the next 30 seconds here. Please share. Go like the Cultural Immersion Media page. Are there any pages you want to shout out, Leah, while we're here? Any pages?
You know what? If you go and follow my Leah R. Patterson, Transformation and Wellness Coach, that page is the epicenter of all things Leah.
I say.
Yes.
Okay, so let's like that one. All right, for Leah. Okay, so Cultural Immersion Media and Leah Patterson.
It's Wellness and Transformation Coach. It's my business page. So if you just look up Leah R. Patterson, you'll find it, because my personal Facebook page is just Leah Patterson.
Got you. Leah R. Patterson. Got you. Yeah. You gotta know details. You know. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me change that right quick. Leah R. Patterson, so we know how to find you. All right.
Oh, yay! Yeah.
There we go. So that we were looking for Leah R. Patterson on Facebook. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you were able to share, but I'm shared, and hopefully my phone is off. I don't know, technology, but
I know. I'm sure. Oh, my friend Lydia is here. Hey, Lydia.
Yay. Hello, Lydia. Yeah, everybody, please shout out. Let us know that you're here. Let me go to my comments. Oh, look at Leah and Jeanette. Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Thank you, guys. We're super excited that everyone is here, and we are ready to jump into this conversation. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Greetings. My name is China Empress Beatrice Nella, and this is Educeumm. It's been a second since we've been on, so let me reintroduce myself. If you don't know me, I am the talk show host, and I've come up with this platform where the idea comes from the root word of educate, which is educe, which means to bring out, right? So the idea is that a lot of times the information and things that we're looking for is already in us. We just need conversation to kind of bring it out, right? So that's what we do. We educe, we bring it out, right? So I'm super excited to have a special guest here today, Leah Patterson. I've been wanting you on. I'm gonna find a way to have Leah on, but then she made a post on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's why she's coming on. But I don't have to bring you back for the other stuff. But Leah is amazing. I first always like to tell about how I know Leah and why she's come, right? So the reason I know Leah is because really my mom, when I came back, she's like, you need to meet Leah. No, she didn't even say Leah. You need to meet this dancer. There's this black dancer. You've got him. You've got him. Okay, cool. All right, mommy. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to run into each other because, I'm in the salsa scene now. I started going to do salsa when I was 33, and I killed it. You know what I'm saying? So we
boom.
You know what I'm saying? Not twice a little, like, well, we come. That's why I take the classes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting off track. But anyway, I came to class and actually met Lisa. Long story short, I ended up finally meeting Leah, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand. So if you've never seen Leah dance, I'm literally getting goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that already, but like water, like it doesn't even look like she's on the ground. Like her feet just be floating across the ground. Beautiful arm movements. I remember I was taking a class with her one time, and she was like, "Oh, I really don't do arm movements." Okay, yeah. You're not aware when you're doing the arm movements, right? Maybe you don't count the arm movements, but know your placement. But you definitely do arm movements, but like, you definitely do them, okay? But this is my intro. That's how I know Leah. I know Leah from the dance world, and actually in the salsa space that I was in, it was quite diverse because we're in Little Rock, you know what I'm saying? But the salsa dance world is not as diverse as I found out when I got more into it with Black women dancers, especially on the professional level and on higher level. So Leah is she's just been like going against the grain the whole time. Ashe. So I'm really excited to get into this conversation. So and we didn't really explain what the conversation was in the flyer. So I'm just talking a little bit more. I just put a picture of a baby up there. It's like, hey, here's a baby at the top.
There you go.
Come talk, right? So Leah posted this this message on Facebook, and I actually had seen her maybe right before or maybe right after. I feel like I saw her right before. You see somebody, but you don't want to say, I think you got a baby bump. People say, you don't want to say congratulations because Leah's still small, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to offend nobody. So I'm like, definitely done it to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, okay. You know what? No, not just so we don't ask questions. We don't do that. It's just like I said, 9 months we're gonna find out. We'll know everyone knows. But she made a very open Facebook. I love Facebook. You have to watch your feed, right? Some people hate Facebook. Delete all those people who have negative stuff in their feed, because Leah always has positive stuff in her feed. In uplifting, posts from other friends, stuff that she's sharing is always positive, So anyway, in Leah's, not in Leah's feed, but in my feed, Leah was there. And then she's like, I'm on this awesome, amazing journey. Any women who have questions, who want to know, please feel free to reach out to me. My friends know I'm an open book. Goosebumps again, right? Because a lot of times we're going through experiences and like people have been through them before, but nobody wants to share. And it's really crushing. I don't even really know.
Sorry, doggies. I'll mute myself.
Yes. No worries. I have to. But I don't even know how to explain it. The only example I can give is, for instance, my daughter is on the spectrum, but she's high functioning, so like a lot of stuff I was overlooking. I didn't really understand it. She needed assistance in certain areas because she's very smart. She's very good at what she did, but she needed some help. I needed some help, But there were people who came to me and said stuff to me who didn't say, "Hey, my baby's on the spectrum too. I see that. Don't you recognize how this is similar to my child?" Da, 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 da. If they would have said that, I'm like, "Oh, okay." But they never said that. It was like, "Oh, you might want to go to the doctor. Oh, you might want to." So to them, I'm just like, we good. Like, she know her ABC, she count. She, you know what I'm saying? Like, we math, we good. She knows reading. She, we got the So my point is in saying that a lot of times you will try to lead someone in the right directions, but if you're not open enough to just at least tell them that I've had the experience, you know what I'm saying? Not even necessarily being an open book like Leah and telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? But just being, sometimes I feel like we need to be willing to share. And so thank you, Leah, for being open and willing to share about the process of, I still haven't said it, of becoming a mother, right? And choosing that to do it on your own. I was doing a little research before we got on, and I saw this blog, finally found one that said Motherhood Reimagined. I think that was a really good title. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. We think that there's a certain way to do it, and there's not.
Yeah.
So now that I've done this long, exaggerated introduction of Leah, we finally get to hear from her herself.
I appreciate
introduce yourself, and we'll get started in the conversation.
Oh, wow. Well, you just have me smiling and blushing over here and just giggling. I knew this was going to be a fun conversation. So it is really an honor and just a real treat. And I feel flattered that you wanted me to have this conversation with you. And, you pretty much gave everybody the rundown of who Leah is. So I appreciate it. And, my friend Carmen is here. So, hey, Carmen, I'm seeing some people check in.
Yes.
But yeah, I was, like you said, I've always been an open book. For better or for worse, positive or negative. I've always been really transparent about my journey. That's one of my gifts. That's one of the things I feel like the universe has blessed me with the ability to just be able to speak candidly about the things that I've been through or what I'm going through. And so I knew that at some point I wanted to talk about this. I wanted, like, if the opportunity presented itself, that I would open, with an open heart, like, speak my truth about it and assist anyone that is like on that fence, or just where I was a couple years ago, like, I'm 40. I didn't intend to be 40 right here in this space, and there's so much around even where I was at 40, just lots of things in my life, which I've shared a lot about, I've had so much beautiful success and tons of wonderful experiences. And also, I've had many goals and dreams and hopes that I wanted and worked hard for and strove for that just didn't happen. They just didn't happen. It just like in hindsight, I look and I see now that it was for the journey and what it gave to me in terms of my growth and my own, stacking up my strength and becoming the woman that I, and I feel like we are becoming ourselves, so becoming our true selves. So, so becoming more true to who I really am, that's what those journeys were for. They really weren't for those end goals, And so, and one thing I have is mad tenacity, So some of these goals I had been working on for like 20 years, 10, 15 years. But then upon evaluation, you realize that, actually, I don't even really want that result anymore. My desire for that result has kind of changed. I just, so there's, so all of that was a part of this decision to pursue single motherhood on my own. It was just all a part of that. And oh my gosh, so much growth to be able to pursue it to first, because there's like tons of dreams, like you said, motherhood reimagined. So tons of like dreams and ideas about how you thought your life should go, that just, instead of completely being devastated by the fact that it didn't go that way, allowing yourself to shift perspective and realize that maybe your path is just different than other people's paths. Maybe your path is just your own, just like everybody else's path is actually their own, but we think that there's like these universal paths that everybody should take. So I could talk all around it, but yeah, ask me questions. Okay.
I love it. Also, I wanted to let people know, please jump in the chat box if you have specific questions for Leah. Please put them in the chat box, okay? So that we can add them in, because I'm just going from personal experience, and we're going to have more of a conversation than question and answer, because I already explained to Leah I don't do question and answer. We do talks, right? So I'm really excited because one of the reasons that I wanted to have this conversation is, and I hope one of my close friends gets to see this, but one of my close friends in particular that I'm thinking about, but also other girls, I'll just start with this. So I remember being like 25, 20, maybe 27, and in a relationship, and like thinking to myself, I don't know if it's going to work out with this guy, but before I hit 30, we together, we having a kid, right? I also had a contingency with a friend of mine, you know what I'm saying? He already knew what was up. Anyway, I make it to 30. We having a kid. Yeah. Period. I that was just the plan. The plan was 30. For whatever reason I had in my head, I'm kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? You're an Aquarius, you understand we have our quirks, Yeah. And so I read something that said I need to have my baby by 30. I read it too young, so I had decided, like, at a super young age, I'm having my baby by 30, so it was gonna happen, Yeah. So I was in my relationship, and I had my baby, at 29, which was right before 30, right before 30. But it was also a very intentional thing, right? It wasn't something like I thought it would be like, oh, I had planned to be married by 28, you know what I'm saying? Have my baby my first year, I had kind of threw away all the other stuff, like you said, the journey, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know what? I just want this baby. So I don't know what's gonna happen with me and you know what I'm saying? I love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen to you. We're gonna have a kid, Yeah. So having said that, I wonder, like, how did you get here? I don't know how else to say that, but hopefully that.
Yeah. Well, so I've always been extremely goal-oriented and driven, and yet never in that way that the stereotype kind of, sets up for you, or the stereotype says is where, like, and actually this is true. There are some women who purposely choose not to. They purposely choose not to pursue relationships, not to pursue motherhood or any of that, you know, until like a certain point. And then maybe they run into situations where they regret it, you know, or it works out like they want it to, and boom, they hit 35 and it's like, all right, cool, I'm ready for my family.
For sure.
You know, but that was never the case for me. I was always, you know, I always was of the belief that I could have it all. It could all happen, you know, all in the same span of time. I can pursue my goals and pursue the things that I'm passionate about. And I'm going to eventually meet the right person. And I'm eventually going to, you know, have a baby, and it's going to be wonderful. And even if I don't meet the right person, maybe I'll just have a baby, you know, it's like, you know, like, yeah, maybe I'll just have a situation that, you know, and it's just going to have an oops baby and it's okay, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it definitely wasn't intentional in any kind of way where I purposely in my mind put it off. You know, and I've explored, you know, well, what happened and how did I get here? And I always tend to look at myself as, you know, and look at the things that I did or I didn't do and things like that. So I feel like a part of it was my mental health journey. Was that, you know, and I feel like it's blessings from the universe, but I feel like just the partners that I chose weren't great partners, you know. I wasn't meeting people who really were vested in me, invested in us. So, you know, I had situationships before that was a thing. I had so many situations. Okay. You know, and so it was never something that I said no to. And then, you know, I mean, I didn't have lots of opportunities for random hookups and things like that because I was so goal oriented. I just didn't have time for that. I was like, if you're not coming with something that really catches my eye, you know, I don't even see you. I don't even see you. You know? You know? Like it wasn't even intentional. So you just really got to step up. I mean, you know, you just really have to be coming with something, you know, it's not even I'm not being mean. I just didn't even notice you. You know?
I definitely understand.
Yeah, you know, so you'll have to excuse me. I still have the silly cough, which I'm trying to, you know, just thank the universe for whatever wisdom it's bringing me.
For sure.
But yeah, so it really, I had a really great, wonderful relationship that started, I think I was about 34 when I met him. And we were together I might have been a little bit older. And I thought he was the one, you know, and we were together for 2.5 years and it was wonderful and great. Although looking back, you see all the red flags and you see all the, you know, all the holes in the bucket, but you know, it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So it's going to finally happen for me. This is awesome. This is wonderful. And slowly but surely, I realized that wasn't going to happen with that relationship, you know, that like he just really wasn't where I was. And I had a miscarriage in that relationship. And there are like friends of mine who will watch this who know him because we were, you know, like we were together doing like when I was like hardcore, like doing salsa, like hardcore. So, you know, he's a wonderful person and I'm not sharing our business, you know, but it felt like to me that he was relieved more than he was sad with me, you know, about like the miscarriage, you know? And so that was hard. That was horribly hard, you know? Also, that was the awakening that I needed to say, you know what? I know this is not going where I want it to go. I know it. You know, I know this isn't going where I want it to go. He ain't never gonna marry me. He ain't never gonna, you know, all these things, you know.
Yes.
You have to have that really real conversation with yourself, you know.
Yes.
And I think it was 2015, I think is when that relationship ended. So I could be messing up all my numbers because I'm 44 now. But I know the year we broke up. We broke up in 2015. And it was hard. It was just, you know, hardcore. I don't know for sure. I think it was either 2015 or 16. But I know 2016 was the year that I realized I was like, I'm going to do this on my own. You know, I was like, you know what? I don't have to have, you know, like I've always thought that it was going to happen like this. It doesn't have to happen like this. And I don't, and I honestly don't know. I do. And this is an unfortunate reality of my family life, but there are very few, like I have my 2 uncles and they are great fathers, but they are actually not with their children's parents, you know, I mean, their children's mothers, you know, and the majority of the women in my family, we, you know, like I have a wonderful relationship with my stepfather now. Growing up, I hated it and hated everything about it. And we were the only actual, like, long-standing, like, mother, I mean, you know, like parental unit, 2-parent home, you know, and I hated it. And then I did most of my friends. I only had one friend that had like a family life that I like, you know, that I like looked up to. So I had no real examples of, you know, a successful 2-parent kind of, you know, family dynamic. So I was like, you know what? Everybody in my family, they doing it. They are wonderful mothers. Their children are awesome. I can do this. You know?
Yes.
And so it was, you know, that was the example that I had, that like, you know,
yes,
all of us are pretty dang, you know,
dope.
Turned out pretty dope, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
So that, I believe, was where I really felt like I can actually do this. Okay. I feel like I can do this, you know? I had no idea what that meant, you know? And then also, and I have to give credit to my OB. She is freaking amazing, my obstetrician. And she's my gynecologist also. So she was the first person that presented the how. You know, it was like, because, you know, she was with me through the miscarriage. And then every year after that, you know, I would say, you know, I would plan, you know, I would schedule my annual for the next year. But I was like, you know what? You guys are going to see me before then, because I'm going to be coming in here for, you know, telling you all I'm pregnant. And so I think in 2017 is when she really had a really real with me and said, you know what, Leah, you can do this and you would be an amazing mother. And I don't want to see you miss out on this opportunity because it hasn't happened the way that you wanted it to, you know? And I mean, it would every year it was hard going in there for that annual exam and knowing a whole year had passed, you know? And like, dang, I am super single, you know? Not that I never have had a lack of situationships, but super single still, you know? And, you know, and here I am, and now I'm 41, and now I'm 42, and now I'm 43, you know? And so the first year she gave me the information for the fertility clinics, it was tough. I didn't call. I was just like, I'll think about it, but you know what? I still believe that I'm gonna meet the right person. It's gonna work out. And
so you were specifically waiting for a person. You didn't have my plan B where I just had a homeboy. I was like, look, you and me. Okay, got you.
Because I didn't really, because
got you.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, there's no one even now that I would think that, like, that we had that conversation and we're like, you know, this is what we're gonna do at this certain point, you know.
No, not like that. Like, you don't have to be like that. Like even somebody like, I know I want to have a kid. I don't necessarily want to be with you, but I know that you're dope, right? And that you'd be a good father.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely have people like that.
Okay.
And that's part of the story later on. You know, but at that point, I was still thinking, because like I said, I was having like these awful relationships, meeting people that, like, you know, and not tons. I mean, I'd say tons, but not tons. Like, you know, there's like people that were like, oh, this could be potential. Okay, let me, you know, put some energy in this direction. Let's see what this exactly. Yeah.
About the situation you said earlier. I just have to. So I work out. Okay, I go to the gym. I've been going to the gym for a long time, like years. You know what I'm saying? This dude randomly comes up to me, like he wave all the time. I'm like, hey, you know, whatever, you know, keep it going. Like literally, just hey, you know, no conversation, no hi, how you, what's your name, nothing, right? So randomly, one day we were talking about the election or something, and I was like, oh, I asked him for something. He's like, oh, let me get it, and he gave me. He's like, oh, I got your number now. I said, I'm single, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was never an issue. You know? Like, and so then I started talking to me, sends me this text like, I've had the biggest crush on you for 4 years.
You're like 4 years, dude.
Come on, man.
Yes, now.
So then, this is the worst part, Leah. So then I'm like, oh, so you must have, because the only reason truly that you would try to holler at me after 4 years is you're newly single. Oh, you just got a relationship? Oh no, we're still together.
Like no.
What was the point? Like what? So just keep with you.
Yeah, keep it going. I don't even. Yes. See, that's what.
But I understand what you're saying about wasting your energy, right? And then I also understand because I know, Leah, that you're very spiritual, and like as the Leah R. Patterson Wellness, Health and Wellness.
Yeah, Transformation and Wellness.
Transformation, thank you. Transformation and wellness. Get it right every time, because otherwise they won't get it the right. Transformation and Wellness page. Because I know that you also understand how we transfer energy with our partners, particularly doing sex. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Particularly with the growing of a life inside of your body. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do you want that energy inside of you? So it really is a big process trying to find the right partner, then investing all this time into a partner who's not going to work out, right? I can't even imagine, you know what I'm saying, that feeling of relief, you know what I'm saying, that you were talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying, that the other partner, you know what I'm saying, like I can only imagine how devastating that would be. But like you said earlier, when you're talking about the journey, it's not really for the goal. That was powerful. You need to make a shirt or something about that, because that getting goosebumps again. You're gonna give it to me all night. It's okay. But it's about your development as a person, right? We're trying to reach this, but spirit wants you to reach this. You know what I'm saying? And so that really spoke to me, because I think of these various journeys that I've been through, that my homegirl has been through, that I'm thinking about in particular. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember us, having these conversations like, China, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not happy. I'm like, well, I'm not in a relationship either. But you got a kid. But you, and then I'll be like, but like, I literally went out of my way to have this kid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I knew, but I think it was based on, like you said, I grew up in a single parent home, and I knew a lot of successful women who made that specific decision. They said, I'm going to wait. You know what I'm saying? I also know a lot of women who chose to have abortions, right? So maybe they got pregnant when they were 21, maybe they got pregnant when they were 30, right? But they didn't like their partner. Yeah. So now, 50, 60, you know what I'm saying? It's not an option, right? And so one person who loves me very much was just very candid with me at a young age, you know what I'm saying? About 25, 26, she's like, if you want a baby, have one. You know what I'm saying? So I never was really concerned about the constraints of society, because she told me, hey, if you want a kid, have you one. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. But success is not everything. Business is not everything. And then always it doesn't turn out how you want it to, right? And then on the flip side, another person explained to me the type of drive that sometimes a child can give you, right? You know what I'm saying? Our children can give you, right? It can, for some people, can be another level. I know it can also, it's hard. It's definitely harder, right? Because more money, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. But it also can be another motivation, because you have to figure out how to make that money, right? And it's not just you upon that. But I was just thinking about some of the things that you said earlier, and I'm trying to transition, but my other point was, so with my friend that I spoke to, we talked about these relationship issues, and we talked about just different options. We talked about, adoption, of course, you know what I'm saying, adopting as a single parent. And then we talked about, but we've never really talked about IVF, right? Or in vitro fertilization. I don't know what your process was, but I would like to talk about whatever your process was specifically, because you're not adopting, right? We're not expecting you. Your belly's nice and round. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. we know that you're gonna have to push them out. I was looking up this thing and doing my research about a fertility doula, which I've never heard about. I don't know if you're familiar with the term either of a fertility doula. I was just wondering if maybe you had one, because I know when I got pregnant, I had a midwife and doula, but I didn't even think about a fertility doula. But it makes sense. Somebody, walking you through the whole fertility process if you're familiar with it. I just thought that was dope, that it was an option for that. But yeah, so if you could talk to us about the actual process that you are going through now, that you've been, like what that's like, and what your support system looks like, and how you came to that exact thing. Because I know you said your doctor told you so. Was adoption never even an option? That you just kind of skipped over that, or was it because the doctor gave you the information on the in vitro? And then also, if you could kind of clarify like the time span, right? So I understand like 2016 you broke up, then maybe a year or two, 2018. Because it said the first time she gave you the information, you didn't want to, you're like, I'm gonna put that down for a year, right? So kind of in my mind, I would like to know, when did you really start to consider it? Then, like, when did you start the process? And then how long the process did it take you to get to where you are now, if that makes sense?
Yes, it all makes sense. So, a lot there. So, so it wasn't an immediate, like, okay, I'm going to go the scientific route, you know, like, so it wasn't like I just automatically said, that's what I'm going to do. I did, you know, think about just random hookups. I thought about, you know, is there somebody that I could ask if they would be interested, you know, and just having a child together. I was crossing my fingers that one of these situationships would end up that way, you know. I mean, so it was a process to get to that point of saying, you know what, well, one, I can do this in a scientific way, because I mean, there's a whole mental part that goes with that, you know, just I mean you're completely on your own, you know. And so and then we're in Arkansas, you know, so there is only one fertility clinic here. But at first I had a hard time, I mean, you know, being a single person, like, like, okay. And I think at the time when I was looking into it, the very first time I was looking into it, one of the clinics, there were two clinics at that time, and one of them said, no, we don't see single women. We don't, you know. So, I mean, you know, and I mean, and there's a lot of clinics across the country that like will not see single women.
Wow.
Yeah. You know. So, yeah, and I mean the insurance side of that too, like, you know, I mean, it's a whole thing. So let's see. So where do I dip into the journey? So I believe like 2018, 2017, she gave me the information. I think I did call the two, but it seemed it just felt like such a foreign idea. Didn't know anything about it, you know. 2018, I said, okay, you know what? Because I had to get him an annual, you know, let me really consider this. It still took me a year to actually start making those phone calls. I think, because I think I called and set up an appointment like in September. And it was like, I didn't have that appointment until December. Because I mean, like, you know, at this point, this was the only clinic now, because they had shut down the other clinics. This was the only clinic, or they didn't shut down. They just started to do other stuff. So, so I went in for that first appointment, and I still didn't really know much about it, but the doctor was and it's these, I don't know. I mean, everybody's going to have a different experience in different cities and things like that. This fertility clinic, they will absolutely get you pregnant. They are not the nicest people. So they're not the sweetest bedside manner people. But my first appointment was so great. I mean, it was just like, oh yeah, we can do this. Totally. We'll do these tests. Well, yeah, your insurance covers this. Excellent. Okay, boom. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to have a baby like next month? And I was like, I'm not. I was like, wow. I mean, this is great and all, but I don't know if I'm like, this was just an informational conversation.
That's
so it still took me a minute. And then, so I held off. I was seeing a therapist at the time. And she was wonderful and amazing in helping me like really make a plan, because and you know this as an artist, you know, like I'd given up my science life, you know, as a chemical engineer like years ago. So I live as an artist. I live knowing that the universe is going to take care of me. But that doesn't always mean that I have a ton of money in my bank or I'm, you know, yeah, you know. And so that was always my issue with adoption, was that, you know, I don't have a traditional portfolio. You know, I don't look the part of like, oh, this is a woman who can take care of a child.
To show that security, stability. Yeah. Because they do a lot of checking and reference checking. I got you. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I mean, because I explored it. I looked into it, but I was like, there's no way they're going to prove me to adopt. Like, I'd be like, you think you got $300 in your bank? You trying to have no.
Yeah, like, give me my baby.
So I was like, yeah, I was, and you know me. I mean, it is like miracles abound, because me having this job that I have now, 2 years ago, I'd have been like, no, you're never going to see me in nobody's job, you know? So that's truly a calling, you know, that's like the universe, like setting me up to do some stuff. But so I really wasn't willing to sacrifice that, you know?
Right.
But talking with my therapist, she was like, well, how about, and again, the universe is just amazing in how it works. She helped me realize that it might be an okay idea to get something for the next couple of months to build a nest egg, to hold off until July or June. This is 2020 now, we're talking, you know, to do my, to actually do my first IUI treatment. Because I was ready to start, because I was, at that point, I was tired, I was frustrated, and I was like, you know what? I was 43. I was like, I'm going to do this. Damn it. I'm going to do this, you know? And, you know, it worked out because COVID came and it stopped all my dance classes. And then, you know, so it worked out that the universe actually provided me with an actual, you know, income. And having that plan really worked. You know, it really worked for me to feel like, okay, now I'm really ready. I'm really ready to do this on my own. I don't have to feel like, you know, we just gonna be making it happen. Because I knew I have like the utmost trust in the universe. I have tons of evidence that the universe works it out for me all the time to my best, you know, to the best I can imagine, you know. So I wasn't worried about that, but it was like, okay, dang, but you know what? I would like to know that I'm, you know, I mean, I would just like to see the money in the account and pay, you know, I know it's gonna work out, but it's nice to see some of it ahead of time. You
know, I got the disconnect notice. Can I hit the account yesterday? Yeah. I got you.
Like, universe, I know you got my back, but I'm just trying to, like, you know, can I just get a little, like, you know? So, and I talked to my therapist about like, I just want to do the adult thing for a little bit, you know. So that really helped me kind of plan for that and really feel super confident that I could do it. Now, in terms of my support system, I am so fortunate that, like, my family, I mean, because they thought I was going to be the only one that didn't have children, you know, and I am the only, you know, I'm the last one. I'm the oldest and I'm the last one. So they were completely, and of course, you know, I mean, you know, just because it's not a cheap journey doing it the medical way, you know. So they were all for, like, I mean, you know, could you just, do you know, I mean, talk to everybody.
In the hallway, let's go away for 8 days. You know what I'm saying? Let's do 8 days every 2 months until it work out. You know.
Yeah, they were for, like, you know, hey, because we got you. We got you. He can go on. Okay. All you need is a deposit, girl. That's all you need.
Okay.
And I mean, and I explored some of that, and it just, and honestly, the reason why I decided to go the medical route, financially, I had prepared for it.
Yes.
So I had the money set aside, and knowing you're stepping into messiness is just, you know,
girl,
it's just.
I need peace. I need peace. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And it was like, if I have an alternative that is peace, like you said, that is peace, that I've made peace with, that feels peaceful. And this right here just feels like a big cluster. And that, do I want to be involved with this cluster for the rest of my life? Do I? you know? Yes, you know? And like you said, and that energy, do I want my child to be created with that kind of energy?
To carry that energy, and then we have to figure out how to dispel it, but try to figure out how to control it. I understand. I understand.
Yeah. There was a lot of that. I really had those, like, you know, spiritual discussions with my higher self, like, you know, because and really looking at, like, okay, where is that desire coming from? Is that fear that it can't work out any other way? You know, is that desperation? Like, I'm just willing to put up with whatever because I just want a child so bad, you know? And I was like, you know what? I don't have to do it that way. I was like, the universe is presenting me this other way that I can do this, you know? And like I said, I mean, and the universe was really presenting it because so many things just, like, you know, so many boxes just checked off, and it was scary. It was scary as all get out. But it was one of those scary things where you're like, but you know what? I'm not getting any roadblocks. It's not like the universe is trying to redirect me. The universe is just saying, yeah, this is scary, but this is, you're just scared because you're over here. You're on this side of it now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's new.
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah,
you know?
Anything new is scary and difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I told myself. I was like, Leah, you have done so many scary things in your life. Okay. I was like, you have been in this place before.
Yes.
So you can do scary things. You know this.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. Yes.
So yeah, so that's why I just, every step of the journey, I just, you know, and I do feel like, I think it's interesting. I think if I was a little bit younger, a fertility doula would have been a wonderful thing. But I think because I have come through so much in my journey, you know, and I had made so much peace, and I'd done so much shadow work and so much, you know, growth through it, that I was just, you know, and I had done my own research also. So I, you know, right time, right place, right energy. I just feel like it all just came together in that. And I was like, this is right. And the universe led me to this resource, that resource. Now I read a ton of books. You know, I've connected with different communities, you know, because there are Facebook communities, there's Instagram communities, and that's been helpful and really, really wonderful. And then, you know, I found friends that are like, you know, I had a friend who she's about my age. she just had her son about a month ago, you know, so it's like, you know, so you start to find like these pockets of support and community, you know, and then knowing that, like, my family is like, I mean, they are so down and there for me, you know, so.
And probably super excited.
Yes.
I already know that they're super excited. First, I want to say that I think it's dope that you, and thank you for saying aloud, because a lot of times other people need to hear it, that you have a therapist, or that you had one when you were going through this process. I don't know if you have one now, but like, I love hearing that. And when I heard you say it, I was like, oh, well, you didn't really need a fertility doula, because I know that they're there for like mechanical reasons, but my doula and midwife for me were very emotional support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, kind of, okay, if you can't decide, here are some options, right? So then that person helping you make a plan, like, okay, well, Leah, you're gonna make the decision, but why don't you look at these options? You know what I'm saying? Don't just pick, you know. And so for me, that's kind of how sometimes doulas and midwives work. They kind of work as also kind of like a therapist. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope that you kind of feels like you had all of those things that you needed, kind of like you were saying, and they were in place to a certain extent. Yeah. And I know that you have crazy mad support from your family. And I know that everybody is excited about this freaking baby. Like, I already know. I can't even imagine. They probably got stuff stashed in corners for the baby. They don't buy nothing, Leah. Because if you buy it, your house is going to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody's been waiting. I can only imagine. Like, oh, we can, and they probably got dance baby shirts and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, my mom's a dancer. You know, I can already see it. Yeah, I already know. Yeah. I already know. I know everybody's excited. I did one more specific question. So I want to ask, this is kind of personal, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I did want to ask, like, how many rounds of in vitro did it take? Like how long did it take as far as the process? Because I know it's different for everybody. And then I heard you say earlier, which I was like, oh, awesome. You said your insurance covered at least a portion of it. Yeah, so that's good to know for people out there who are interested. Like I was thinking you would have to come fully out of pocket. I definitely did my little research, like how much this costs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then another basic question I had was like, is it painful? Is the process uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? And then you didn't tell us like the process of choosing your baby daddy, right? Because it's control, right?
Wait, I missed it. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I missed the last question. The last question.
Okay. I say you tell us the process of choosing your baby daddy. We want to know. We want to know how you chose the father. You know what I'm saying? I got questions.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So I actually ended up doing 2 rounds of 2 IUIs, which is in uterine. It's basically, okay, I'm gonna be super crude. It's the turkey-based method, but basically they take a catheter and they just implant, the sperm close to, within your uterus, close to the egg, in the hopes that, just nature will take its course.
Naturally. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
so I
did 2 cheaper than putting it inside? Okay.
Yes, than doing in vitro, so IVF. So my IUIs were not paid for. So all of my testing, so all of my fertility testing was paid for by my insurance, but the IUIs weren't covered by insurance. So they were about $450 each. Sperm is about, and mine was on the cheaper side, honestly, the least expensive side, but my vows were, I think they came out to $600 with shipping each. And I just did 1 vow at a time. Some people buy like 7 vows. I don't know. Like I wasn't at that. I didn't save that much money. So, so my IUIs each were about $1,000 something, like maybe $1,200 for each. My IVF, so I did 2 rounds, 2 IUIs, and it's interesting. The first IUI, it failing was devastating. I mean, it just hurt. It was like, oh my gosh, I've gotten myself to this point. I had courage. I did this. And then what? It didn't work. Oh my gosh. And then all those fears about like, maybe I do have infertility issues. Cause I was always of the belief that it was just opportunity, not really, like actual, and I did have my 2 myomectomies. So, I have fibroids and they're still hanging out, but they're not causing any major problem. But both of those, and that's something that I didn't say too. Both of those myomectomies were done in knowing that I wanted to have children, because I wanted to have children, so.
Could you please briefly explain for us what a myomectomy is and how it affects your ovaries and your ability to have children? I do know, but I know that a lot of people don't know what you're talking about. So please, just a brief explanation.
So yes. So myomectomy is a surgery for removing fibroids. And so there's 3 different types of fibroid removal surgeries or procedures. Myomectomy is the most invasive. And it's basically where they cut you open, and it's like a C-section incision, but it's vertical instead of horizontal, and they remove the fibroids that way. And it's usually if you have many, like tons of fibroids, and they're kind of, they're large in size. And so when I found out I had fibroids, like it was because the doctor thought I was pregnant, and I was like, no, I'm definitely not pregnant. And he was like, well, something's going on, and he sent me to a specialist, and then that's when they found out that I had like massive fibroids. And so I had that surgery, I think in 2014. And then again, maybe it was 2013 and again. Like I had basically, they came back within a year, and then I had, another surgery the next year. So that was another thing. Like I had done so much, and I was still with this partner, and it was like, did all this, and now you don't want, So, but yeah, so back to the IUIs and the IVF. So like the first IUI not working was devastating. Second one, I was like, okay, I'm still in the statistical range, because basically it's like, I mean, it's just like people trying on their own, it's like typically, statistically, they say it takes about 3 tries, try for a year before you, but I was kind of like, and then after that second IUI, I took some time off. I thought that there was a relationship that might work out, or just a person that like, okay, this could, this could be my daughter in a way, Again, it was one of those where I had that really real, and I was like, what are you walking into, Leah? Do you want to be walking into that? Sure. And so then that's when I decided at the end of the year, okay, fine, I'm gonna do IVF. And before that, and again, like I believe the universe sets things up, because I was so afraid of IVF. I did not want to do IVF. I did not want to do injections. I did not want to take all the medication, any of that, Okay. And so, but I did it. So I needed to wait to that time, because by that time my resolve was I had so much calm and peace about it. And so, but then it still took 3 months for me to be able to actually do my next cycle, or do my cycle. So I didn't actually have the IVF procedure until March. Okay. And I was just really fortunate that my first IVF actually worked. Wow. So that's a blessing, because again, a lot of people have to do at least 2 rounds of IVF in order for it to, for the baby to stick, for the embryo to stick. Yes. So
yay. Yeah, congratulations. Did I miss her? Did you explain to us how you chose the father?
Yeah, no, how I chose the father. Okay. So that, oh my gosh, that was a process for real. It is overwhelming. I mean, I didn't know anything about sperm banks or anything about that at all. So the fertility clinic, they have 3 sperm banks that they work with. So they gave me like a pamphlet. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go online and look at these places, and so it was important to me to find an African-American donor. That was really important for me. But there aren't many. So real, and because I'm like a, like you said, we're Aquariuses, we go with our own, we have those messages and those signs. Yeah. So the sperm bank that I went with was Midwest Sperm Bank, because it was in Illinois. And I was like, oh, that's where I'm from. So I'm gonna go with that one. And it happened to be the one that had the least expensive prices. And I looked at, and so what they provide you is they provide you a genetic profile. They provide you a psychological profile.
What's a genetic profile? Like, what do you mean by that? What's in the genetic? What does that tell me about a person?
So that tells you what types of, if they have any genetic indicators, like if they carry the gene for sickle cell, if they carry, that kind of information.
Hereditary health related items.
Exactly. Gotcha. Yeah. And then you get that information, that same kind of information on their parents, grandparents, siblings, like if they're, if they've had, what kind of diseases they've had, if they've had like hypertension, diabetes, anything like that. You get a physical profile of that person. What type of foods do they eat? Are they a smoker? Do they drink? And you get a psychological profile within that also. Like, and they ask them, like, it's like you basically are looking at a survey that they've taken. And I really just went with the person that seemed like the kindest, nicest person, like the kind of person that I would want to know in real life, like, if I met this person, I would, and not like, oh, I want to date this person, but like, oh, this is a nice person, this is a genuine person. And so, and so my sperm bank did not have pictures.
You have birthdays?
You said what? Oh, yeah. No, so I don't know this person's like astrological profile. I need to. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's I was waiting for you to get to the astrology. No, okay.
Yeah, because that then becomes
personal, like, and it could be. I get it, but I would like it in a month. I don't need a day. I don't need a year. Just give me the month. Okay, I guess.
I know, but that's important to us. They don't care. The general populace, they don't like what is like, birthday matter? Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, so I had to say, oh, okay for that. And she's gonna be a little Scorpio too. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Aquarius and Scorpio. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be amazing. Yes.
I know. So yeah, so I really just, and I had one of my good friends, and she was the only one that I asked. And so she helped me kind of decide too. Like I was like, here are these profiles. What do you think?
You don't need too many opinions. Yeah, one is plenty.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. What a roller coaster. I feel like I've been on the ride now. Because man, that is a roller coaster, right? And so I really wanted to do this. I will admit I had one friend in particular in mind. I promise as soon as I saw your Facebook post, she popped right into my head. When she sees this, she's gonna know exactly. Whenever she gets a chance to watch, she knows. And so really, boo, this is for you. I love you. I love that. And I know that you're gonna be an amazing mom. You have a wonderful spirit. And I can't wait. I'm buying all the gifts. Okay, so you get ready. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. However we do this, we're gonna get it done. Adoption, situationship, IVUI, whatever. However we do it, I'm present and I'm ready, and I cannot wait. But thank you, Leah, for being and I'm excited. Right, I'm really, really excited because a lot of things that you talked about just really resonated with her journey. You know what I'm saying? And the journey that we kind of all go on as women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into motherhood and being a mother and wanting to be a good mother, right? So I'll be honest, there were some pitfalls that I did want to avoid. I didn't want to be a young mom. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to be a young mom. You know what I'm saying? I intentionally tried to not, you know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't want to be angry at my child for stealing my youth. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You know?
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
I think young moms are dope. They're fun. They run all over the place. They got all the energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So nothing against young moms, but I wanted to be young. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have my freedom, and I didn't want to be bitter against my baby. You took my body. You took my.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So I just really feel like there are so many things that you hit the nail on the head on. But I'm gonna say again what I said earlier. Like you need to make a T-shirt. Like Leah. She said, and I'm sure I'm not quoting this right. I'm gonna try to get the quote when I go back and watch the video later. But she basically said that like we have a journey and we set goals, right? And it's very clear that Leah is goal oriented and she's a go-getter. You know what I'm saying? But she's learned through that process from what I hear, and feel free to correct me because this is what I'm taking from what you said. But through that process and through trying to get to those goals, once we get to those goals, sometimes we realize, oh, it wasn't about this goal, it was about the journey. And I get there and I'm like, oh, this wasn't quite what I want. It's nice. Okay, but let me keep on moving, right? Or maybe a new goal has been set by the time we get to that goal, you know? And so I really just thought that was beautiful and it resonated with me and was something I needed to hear today. Like understand, like trying to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, right? I be having all these goals in front of me and be stressing myself out because I don't feel like I'm hitting them in a timely manner, whether it's, with having a baby or trying to get this job or trying to have this car or trying to live this life or trying to whatever it is that I'm trying to do, you know? So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on, Leah. Thank you for being honest and open and talking to us about, motherhood reimagined, Ashe, because I am definitely not a traditional mom. From it, okay? So I love it and I'm so excited and grateful for you taking this time. Thank you to everybody that was in the comments. The community showed up. Like pretty much everybody in our chat was from your community, Leah. So thank you for coming and showing up and being supportive We already know that's going to be. Forgot to ask a question. So the last thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. Okay, and then any closing remarks you have as well. When are we due? Do we know what we're having? Do we have tentative names picked out? Because I know that they can change, And those are my three. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So due date is December 3rd, but because I've had the 2 myomectomies, she's going to be a C-section baby. Mm-hmm. So that's why she'll be born in November. That's why she's going to be a Scorpio. So don't know exactly when, but I'm shooting for the 11th or the 21st.
Okay.
So she has an auspicious birthday. And it's a girl.
Yeah.
So yes, having a girl. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I believe her name is Aria Savoy. Not sure, but I believe that's her name. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Aria Savoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. It has a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
Yes, I had to because I almost forgot. I know you guys see how beautiful my face is today, and I'm wearing a very particular makeup. And then I wear every single time I have a. Hear my daughter just come here. There's music in the background.
Yes.
Can you just pause? This is what you got to look forward to, Leah. I hope you're ready. Pause, man.
I'm so ready. Oh, I'm so ready.
Yeah, it's coming, it's coming. They don't stop. But I don't know if you guys heard Leah say earlier that she left her chemical career behind a long time ago, but she still has an excellent makeup company, which I use if you ever see me on the show, I'm wearing her makeup, right? And I meant to say something at the beginning, but I forgot. Yeah. But I wear every time I wear two different. I wear the under thing, and then so I'm really excited. I'm going to start getting eyeshadow soon, but I want to just have to shout her out. It never drips or any of that. I just put my little spray on, and it stays all day. And it's made for dancers, correct? For people who have, sweat and move around and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to add a link and maybe some type of flyer so you can know how to get that as well. Because I know I put it on my face today. Yes.
Yeah, you're looking good, girl.
Thank you. Okay, so that is it. Thank you again, Leah. I'm so grateful. Thank you for the conversation, and we're definitely going to have you back. Yes, maybe you can talk to us about like the beginning of motherhood and some other things too, because we got health and wellness to talk about. We got dance to talk about. We just got Black woman entrepreneurship to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got all kinds of discussions to have. You know?
Yes. So
that's going to be awesome. So we are definitely going to have you back in the future. So peace out to everyone, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.